One of the things I deferred way too long was adjusting the emergency brake on the 98 Boxster in our $24,000 Porsche collection. Unfortunately, over the summer, see it, this is a cast piece. I believe it's magnesium or aluminum. And pulling too hard, that literally ripped out of my hand. I'm going to take you through what you need to do to remove the center console, replace the e-brake assembly, adjust it properly, and then reassemble everything. As luck would have it, our dear friend Robert has got a guy, as we say here in Jersey, and he literally had a couple Boxsters that he's dismantling and using for track toys. So I was able to source a replacement part for $40. As this exploded diagram illustrates, there are several torque screws you need to take out, as well as a couple of trim pieces, in order to remove the console to gain access to the emergency brake handle. I'm going to take you through that now. Okay, to start out, I pulled out the ashtray, and doing that exposes two torque screws underneath it. And then you're seeing I'm using a Torx wrench. Once the screws are removed, it's just a matter of pulling out the power window and ashtray unit and removing the power window switches and setting that aside. Here I'm using a trim tool to remove the shift knob. It literally pulls off after you pull the clips. Underneath the e-brake is a trim panel that you need to remove. That's what I'm doing here with my trim tool remover. Now there's one torque screw up above the shifter, a couple more underneath the console, underneath the ashtray. Now what I did there was I removed in the center console storage box, there's a rubber piece that sits in there, and that exposes the base plate, and there's one torque screw in there. And then that exposes another bolt. And then I'm removing the coin holder that's snapped into place there. You got to be very careful taking that out. But once I do that, see, it just snaps out. There's actually a torque screw underneath that needs to be removed. That's actually a torque screw that attaches to the e-brake. But now once all of that's out, it's a matter of sliding back the console and getting clearance around the e-brake handle and carefully moving it. You don't need to remove the dash console there, making it a little bit easier of a job. Then once it's clear, now you've got access to the emergency brake. So here I am. So in this, there's just three, I believe, 10mm bolts around the housing. Matter of getting those off. One is like a stepped bolt, for lack of a better term. There's this cable guide that holds the shift cable and the e-brake cable. And there's that removed. Now that bracket's off. And you can see it's a step bolt there. Hold the clip. Now I'm loosening the e-brake. There's a locking nut combined with the actual adjusting nut. It takes a long time to get that. That shaft actually moves through the to the e-brake area. So you need to loosen that quite a bit so that basically all the way, you need to take those bolts off, is what I learned. And then you can move the e-brake. Now underneath is a bolt underneath the handle. I used a universal here to give me access to that bolt. And I don't have it shown, but I had a piece of corrugate that I labeled, that I oriented all the bolts for this. I think that's very critical when you do pull this apart to do that. What you see there is the e-brake switch wiring. You need to make sure you remove that. So like it or not, you have to just basically unbolt that whole thing, and that's what took a little bit longer than I anticipated. Now that slides back, and with that off the shaft, you can see the broken e-handle assembly is ready to come out. little finagling there. Now, to my surprise, I found dirt and some seeds in there. I think that goes back to a prior owner, but it was a good time to vacuum everything out. Now, here I am putting in the replacement assembly, making sure I have everything oriented properly. Those two cables need to be in the right spot with the clip to guide them. And, of course, then I'm putting the eccentric back in onto the new shaft for the replacement e-brake. Putting the handle in the right place there so that I can adjust it later. Okay, so here I am slowly putting on the locking nut and the adjusting screw for the emergency brake. I have the handle in the place about where I want it, and it's just a matter of tightening all of that up and adjusting the e-brake there. So with the e-brake adjusted, now it's just a matter of putting the bolts back in the correct orientation. This side is that special nut that gives added clearance that holds the bracket for those two cables for the shift linkage. Here I am putting the clip back on to hold those cables in place the right way. Took a little bit of finagling with a screwdriver to get it right. But then I got it oriented properly. Now here I am just putting the console back in, and a little tricky getting around the e-brake because now you have the handle in place, but you're able to do it. And here I am making sure everything fits and is clear correctly, and then it's just a matter of a little bit more fine-tuning on the brake once I had the console in. But here I am locking it down, just making sure everything's okay. All right, so now underneath the ashtray, I'm putting back in the torque screws. And there's a shot of my corrugate and how I oriented, because these screws are different sizes inside that. There I'm putting the ashtray back in and the shift knob. That's pretty much it. 2 hours of my time and another $40 on something I could have completely avoided had I just adjusted the brakes when they needed to be. Save yourself some aggravation and some money, and just go ahead and adjust the brakes if the handle's too loose. So that was what was going on in the Guys with Rides garage today. If you found this content informative, please press the like button. And if you haven't done so already, I encourage you to press the subscribe button, as you'll be alerted every time we put up new content. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.